A Snow Owl production.
Hey guys, Snow Owl here, and we're going to be just starting this new series I would like to call Why You Should Play. And today we're going to start with Power Stone. Power Stone's a really great game. The whole point of this series is to show that there are games out here to be played. You don't have to play everything within the same genre all the time. Meaning you don't have to play Smash Bros. Because it's a platform fighter. Power Stone is a just as good platform fighter with a decent story. I wouldn't even say great story, but just a decent story and fun gameplay. So in this series, I'm just going to break down why the game is fun, what makes the game interactive, and now since with the collections coming out, all the more reason to play these games and even play different versions of these games if you have PC, you know, with the big E word. Being able to enjoy these games in all their contexts and different forms. So without further ado, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the video. Let's get it started. We had our intro. We're going to be talking about just the basic mechanics of what makes Power Stone Power Stone. This is not an in-depth one, just kind of get your, feet wet before we start digging, deep into the game and why you should play it. So, this game consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 characters. And there's actually one for each stage for each character. So since there's 10 characters, there's 10 stages. These two are boss characters. So Volgus, or Valgus, or however you say his name, and Kraken are boss characters. Since I'm playing on the Capcom Fighters collection, they're automatically unlocked. So these two are usually locked in the other versions. So the PSP and Dreamcast versions, they're actually locked. So if you want to access them, you have to play the story mode. So you only really have access to Falcon, Ayame, Wang Tang, Gunrock, Jack, Galda, Rogue, and Ryoma. Those are like off base game. Those are the most accessible. So, like I said, there's a stage for every person. Every stage has its own stage hazards. Has its own different interactions with the characters and its stage. So we're just going to go with London here today because that's kind of like the easiest, but later on I'll explain why each stage is kind of different and why every stage has its own importance, but for right now we'll play on London. So when it comes to Power Stone, we're going to quickly just kind of go over the UI really quickly. So at the top left where you see the characters' portraits, those are the health bars and the little crystals, the red crystals, the red and yellow ones. Every character has 5. And then at the bottom left where you see both Ryomas have 1 crystal or stone. Once you collect all 3, you begin to have access to your transformation. So let's just show that off really quick. So, everyone gets their Power Stone transformation. Your moves gain different abilities, but it also eats the meter at the bottom. Every character has access to a super. They have a projectile super, and then they also have a close range attack super. So, this game is a 3-button fighter that can become 6 when you do button combinations. So you have punch, you have kick, and then you have jump. When these buttons are put into combinations, if you press punch and jump, you do supers for your transformation. So to do this, I need to press kick and jump. If I want to grab, it is punch plus kick. Punch plus kick allows me to grab my opponent. Depending on your character, it does at least 1 crystal of health for every grab. So another good thing about this game is the movement. You move around in this 3D space. So you see these little circles that appear under like objects and things. This means that they're interactable. So if I press punch, oops, if I press jump on this, I mean jump and punch, excuse me. If I press punch and jump, I can interact with the pole. Now if I press, I believe it's kick and jump, there you go, I can grab onto the pole. So this is jump and then punch. But you have to be facing the pole. It's a little weird sometimes. So at the base of it, I'll attack. If I jump and grab, I'll grab onto the pole. And then you can hit punch press to jump off of it. So the game can get very intricate very quickly. So you can also walk up to objects, pick them up with punch and kick or grab. And then to throw them, you can just press punch. You pick up a chair, you press kick, it throws it. You can also roll. So roll on certain flat objects, you just walk up to it and keep pressing in its general direction. No buttons needed. Generally with tables and flat objects, you can roll over them. And you could change your direction too midway on the table as well. So it's basically a 360 motion. Though small, it's hard to see at times. And you can also stop on top of it as well. So the little green square in the corner, in the middle of the screen at the bottom where you see the blue and yellow stones, it tells you roughly where section that is. So since it's in the top left and right section, I know to go there to pick it up. So that's just basically the quick mechanics of the game. We're going to go over the stages later. But that's mainly it to figure it out. You have your punch button, your kick button, your jump, and then your combination buttons. I forgot to mention that as well. Every character can actually destroy the stage by picking up when you're in your powers mode for a pole swing or an interactive. Just to go back to normal, I'm just going to do this. So I want to talk about items. Now, unlike Smash Brothers where we can turn off the items, in this game you can't really turn off items. So I'm kind of hoping a gun will spawn here or something will spawn here. So, yes. So, see how like on the top of my head, like you're not really going to be using items a lot. You can. It's actually useful sometimes to use items in certain situations, especially when your opponent is in their powered up state. This might help give you an advantage. Every gun is different. Most things in this game are time or ammo based. So you see above my head now, I have like this timer. So no matter how much I use it, actually, it slightly knocks it down, but not a lot. So even if I hit him, it doesn't automatically end it. So with Power Stone, the name of the game is fight your opponent, use the environment around you and also so you can use, you know, the moves, the items when you're in your powered up mode. But the name of the game is fight your opponent, collect the items, or collect the stones, excuse me. Get into your powered up state, do big damage, chase them down if you have to. And then, you know, do your big finisher. And then you're back at it. So that's the name of the game when it comes to Power Stone. Right after this, we're going to talk about the arcade mode. So without further ado, let's hop into the arcade mode. So now we talked about the basics and things of that nature. Power Stone 1 doesn't really have a lot of things going for it in terms of quote-unquote content. That doesn't show up until Power Stone 2. But in this game, you just basically have arcade mode, training mode, options, and that's pretty much it, and practice as well. Also, right now we're going to go over arcade mode, and it's just basically about 8 to 9 stages. You have 7 stages that you go through, and you fight various characters throughout the game. And then you end it off with the 2 secret bosses, which is Valgus and Kraken. And that's pretty much it. It's really your standard arcade, classic 90s arcade, where it's just a simple straight run. You fight Valgus. Valgus turns into this pink-purple thing. And yeah, that's pretty much the arcade mode. It's not really anything special. There's nothing that really happens. Like, you don't fight a car or anything. Or, you know, sure, you can, like a Honda. But it's just basically a light looking thing. So that's basically what arcade is. And yeah, so without further ado, let's just hop straight into the stages, and after that the characters, and that's pretty much the end of the video. So let's move on to the stages. So now that we talked about arcade mode, let's go right into the stages and basically which each stage does. We're going to be giving just a quick overview, it's not in depth. Maybe Monday I might make an in-depth video on Power Stone 1 and 2 stages. But so far we're going to start with London, or Lundo. This is your basic stage, how you would think in Smash Brothers, your Final Destination, or your Battlefield. This is the basic stage. Elevations are very simple. You know, it's got stairs here, high elevations on your right side of the stage, low elevations on your left and middle side stages. So it's basically teaching you like height matters, like how you're going to be using sometimes height to your advantage here. Basically, your basic stage, just nothing happening. There's no stage hazards, which plays a very big part in Power Stone, stage hazards. So definitely Lundo is your basic Final Destination / Battlefield. There's nothing really going on here. I forgot to mention this in the other part of the video, but items with purple above them go by usage, not by time based. So let's go on to the next two is Skullhaven. Actually, no, we'll go to Skullhaven. You know, that's the boss stage. So the next stage would be Mahadad, or however you say that. I'm butchering it for sure. So this stage has stage hazards and very weird elevations. So sand does affect your speed. It moves the characters. So this is a stage hazard. Like I said, the flames count as a stage hazard as well. The middle stage slows your character's movement. So there's going to be a lot more interactions in the middle because you can't move as fast. Like, look how fast Ryo moves up here on solid ground, and then when he gets in the sand, he slows down drastically. And on the sides of the stage as well are the little, I guess you could say the moving platform. So this is like getting you into the introduction that stages are going to have hazards. So, you know, you might go for an attack, but your, you know, opponent's on here moving. Might mess it up. So let's move on to the next stage. The next stage is Tao An, or Tong An. I don't know how to pronounce it. But this is Wang Tang stage. Forgot to mention the first two stages were based on characters. This is Wang Tang stage. This is, if you're gonna learn this game competitively, which I'll try to make some more competitive videos on, like what tier listing and stuff on Power Stone when I get a chance. But so far we're just gonna be talking about the basics of Power Stone. But anyway, this is the most used stage. There is really no stage hazards. When I mentioned in the basics part of the video, you can roll. So this is one of the bigger tables you can roll on. So you can roll pretty much like infinitely if you wanted to, because you know, there's enough space. You know, you have chairs. It's basically London stage, but just a little bit better because there's not heavy elevation. The only elevations are here. You know, you have low, medium, high. And, you know, it's not drastically, you know, messing up your gameplay. So that's Tao An. It's just another simple stage. Very small compared to most stages in the game. Very small. So it allows for more of, you know, better combats. It's, like I said, not too many stage hazards. So that's why in competitive, this stage is used a lot more. So let's move on to the next stage. Next stage would be Odeo. I believe this is Ayame stage. Yeah, this is Ayame stage. So this stage has a lot of weird hidden interactions as well. You have the wall here that periodically will open and hit you. I believe there's like something that comes out of here if you're like it spends too long. Something comes out here and starts attacking you. So this is also another basic stage as well. There's not too many things going on with it. A lot of good interactable stuff. This also introduces a new mechanic of, I believe you can wall. Can you do this on this stage? No, you can't. So Ryoma's, I think, is the only stage you could do it. But we'll get there. I'll show you. So this is another basic stage. This has 3 pillars. Most stages up to this point only had 2 or none at all. So this one has 3 usable pillars. So it's a lot more open. So this leads to a lot more running around and stuff like that. So this is one of the medium-sized maps. So let's move on to the next stage. There's not too much going on here. So yeah, let's move on. We're gonna go to Mutsu, which is Ryoma stage. This introduces water. So now you have water physics in the game. It's like interactable, but just by moving platforms and stuff like that. The other ones you could do, but this one's a little bit more prominent. This also, I believe, on this stage, no, it doesn't. I forgot which stage you can roof climb, but we'll, I guess, find out when we get there. Like I said, this isn't a pro teaching you how to play the game. It's just giving you reasons to why you may want to learn to play this game, or even learn it competitively. I know the competitive scene is really fun. You know, it's very sweaty, but still fun nonetheless. So anyway, the stage is another medium-sized stage, not too much going on with it. Your basic outside stage with 2 elevations, high and low. And that's literally it. Not too much going on here. So let's move on to the next. We'll come back to the boss stages. So this is Dullstown. This is what's his name stage? The knockoff T-Hawk. I forget his name. So this stage, it's got basically 2 elevations. It's got low, medium, but since they're easy to get to, the only high one is these 2 on the far left and right of the screen. There's not too much going on with this stage. I do believe the barrels are interactable. If you like bang on the walls enough with a character, they will fall down. I'm not mistaken. I could be lying. Maybe that was another like Mandela effect. But that's basically this stage. Most of the stages on the game aren't really, you know, doing a lot. That doesn't come until Power Stone 2, where the stage is a lot more interactive. So let's move on to the people who see this, really want to play the game and understand more about it, because it is very intricate. This is Rockman stage. Not to be confused with that Rockman. So this stage is a lot more hazardous. So you have the fan that can hit you. You have this little furnace thing in the middle, which can hit you. And then you have this spinny thingy. And also introduces a new mechanic to the game, which is roof climbing. I think. I know one stage does this. I may be slow. I swear you could roof climb on this one. Maybe I'm just bad. Anyway, that's a mechanic in the game as well, roof climbing. So this stage has 3 active hazards at all times. The furnace, which will attack you when opened. The fan that attacks at all times. And then the wall spike thing. So that's this stage. Very basic. Oh, and the moving platform here that moves you slowly into it. There's also 4. You have 4 interactable things with this stage. So let's move on to the next one. Manchess. I forgot whose stage this is, actually. I think this might be the only stage that doesn't have a character. No, this is Jack's stage. This is based off Friends. So this is Jack's stage. This stage is very simplistic. I do believe... Can you jump? No, you can't jump off from here. It's just one pole. It's very close quarters. Another small to medium-sized map. The glass is breakable, basically opening a little bit more of the map. You can use these items to throw. And that's it. You basically... That's the map. There's not too much going on here. Very close quarters. You know, once you hit your opponent, you're pretty much, still in their face. So this is Jack's stage. It's very simplistic. And that's it. It's got left and right, as you see right there on the side. Left and right. Boss stages. So this is, as we talked about in the arcade, this is one of the bosses, the pre-boss, I guess you could fight. I mean, I guess you could say before you fight, Jesus. So this is his stage. This is, accessible once you get him. You can actually interact with this by moving towards it, essentially. moving around it moves it. It doesn't really do anything, but it's just funny to notice that, I guess. These have multiple stage interactions. Obviously, if you count this one, a little cuckoo thing comes out of here at some point and hits you. Then you have the cannons that, I believe it's like every 5 seconds or 10 seconds they shoot something, which can hit you, as you can see. But you know that you have the anchor there that will hit you. There you go. So some stages do have the ability to roof climb. If I can get there to it. It's like really kind of hard to get to it. Well, as you saw, the cannon hit him. Maybe characters with double jump, since Ryoma doesn't have a double jump, so it's a little harder. Did it fly into me after he got hit? I don't think you can walk. Can you roof climb him? Anyway. So this is the boss, pre-boss stage. So let's move on to the final stage here in our little excursion. And go to the final boss stage. So this is Volgus' stage. Very simple, open stage. Not too much going on. I believe the only stage interactable is Volgus' chair, which you can throw. I don't think the crystal here is interactable. It might shoot a laser, I'm not too sure. But this is another basic stage. You can see they wanted to try their hand here at the platform fighter, but didn't know how this was going to be received. So you can see in the stages how very, not lackluster, the stages still look phenomenal till this day. It's just there's not a lot going on, and you can see why in Power Stone 2, when they had confidence in the game, the stages are so different with so much interactables. But that gives it up for the stages, and next we're going to be talking about the characters. I'm going to, just as I speedrun the stages, I'm pretty much going to speedrun the characters and their just quick dynamics and how they fit in the world, and then that should be the end of the video. So without further ado, let's get into the section, characters. Hey. So now that we talked about the arcade mode, the stages, and the overall mechanics of the game, we're just going to end it off here with the characters. I'm just going to show them off here for lack of, this video is already like 20 plus minutes, so I don't want to make it even longer. So we're just going to go over a quick overview of each character, maybe why you should play them and things like that. So with Falcon here, he's basically the Shoto of the game. He's quick and easy to pick up and understand. His movement is pretty decent. He's not super slow, but he's not super fast either. But his power and movement and stage interactions are really good. So Falcon's your Shoto, he's your Ryu Ken. He even has a Shoryuken in his powered up state and his Power Stone state. So moving on to Ayame. Ayame's a very quick character. She doesn't do too much damage outside of her Power Stone transformation, but she's very fast and very nimble, so where she lacks in damage, she makes up for speed and tactics. My man here, Wang Tan, my favorite character. He is pretty much an all-arounder, which makes him really good due to the fact that he's got great movement. He has one of the best stages in the game, and his Power Stone transformation is, bar none, in my opinion, top tier. Gunrock is pretty slow as a character. He's your grappler. Him and Galda here are both the grappler characters. I wouldn't say Galda more, but more Gunrock is more of a grappler. He's more in your face because he's super slow, so once he gets in, he's in. So he lacks up in speed. He makes for damage, and also his Power Stone transformation is pretty cool too. Jack is nothing but speed and damage, but he's like a glass cannon. So it makes up for all his, he's like the Akuma of the game. He's really good. He's one of the best characters in the game, and his Power Stone transformation is also busted. Galuda, excuse me, he's okay. He's not the best character. You're not going to really see him play too much in top tier games, gameplay and stuff like that, but he's a fun character. He's basically the T-Hawk of Power Stone. Not to say that makes him bad or anything, it's just he's not the favorite character. Then you got Rouge. Rouge is also pretty good. Rouge is she's like a hidden sleeper character in my opinion. Really slow, I believe she's slow. In my opinion, she's pretty slow. But her Power Stone transformation is pretty cool and does a lot of damage. It has a lot of AoE. Most of her attacks in general have a lot of AoE, so they hit in a bubble around her. So Rouge is okay. I think Rouge is not a bad character. And then you have Ryoma. Ryoma, I wouldn't put him at the top tier. Like, I would say he's mid to maybe mid-high tier. Just due to the fact that he's one the second only person on the cast that uses weapons. The other one is Jack. Jack uses knives. Since his knives is close quarters, where Ryoma uses a katana. So his moves are a lot more sluggish. And they have a lot of startup. But his Power Stone transformation is fast. So, basically the risk and reward character. He's very slow and not super fast on his basic form, but when he gets powered up, he's a menace. So that's it for the main cast. To move over to, I guess you could say the special cast or the boss character. Sorry, I just had a stroke there. Oof. Hit you with the remix. Oops. The special class would be Valgus and Kraken. Kraken is not really that great. As a character, he's just not up there. His Power Stone transformation kind of blows. He kind of blows. He's just pretty much a joke character. He's like a Dan. But like if you're fighting him on what you call it, like story mode or arcade mode, he's just doo-dooing on you. But playing him as a regular character, he's pretty much blunt. And, you know, Valgus, the final boss of the game. Valgus is pretty busted. Final Valgus is also pretty busted. So he's, you know, obviously the boss character. He's Gil, basically. He just does a fuck ton of damage and just is really annoying to deal with. So that's basically the cast. It'll be up to you really to sit down and really get to know each character and understand how each character flows within the state of Power Stone. And yeah, I would say try your hand at every character before like heading online if you're playing the Capcom Fighters Collection 2. Or even if you're playing like Fightcade or even on regular Dreamcast, like before you even like start fighting people, just see which character resonates with you the most. And with that, I leave this to you. So this is my video on why this game is something you should play. And if you like it, and if you made it to the end of the video, thank you, I appreciate it. I'm going to leave it here because, you know, like I said, this is for you guys to go try out. I just want to bring it to your attention, bring all these old games. So I'm going to possibly do my next video on Third Strike, but not the Third Strike you're thinking. So I'll leave you with that, into that. Enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, stay my X's. Peace.